Welcome everyone to Defender for Cloud in the Field. If you are a subscriber from Microsoft Security Channel and you have our playlist on your favorites, thank you. If you have not, make sure to ring the bell for our playlist. I'm going to put the AK link below so you can access all the episodes. Today we are going to go back to containers because we've been working in this area. We released many episodes about enhancements around containers, and today we have a veteran of the show that she has been here before, and she is always welcome back because she always brings some pretty cool news, and today she's going to bring some new release that we had in containers. Beatriss Kovernaig, thank you very much for being on.
Thank you for hosting me. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for always bring some really cool news and all the work you've been doing to enhance our customers' containers experience. I think that this is tremendous. And today we are talking about a big release, which is called gated deployment for Kubernetes. So give us an overview about what it is.
Okay, yeah, it's super exciting release. Gated deployment for Kubernetes is out there for the public preview, and it's actually the final checkpoint in your containerized app delivery journey. So right before the container image is being deployed to production and running, start running on the Kubernetes cluster, we are providing an ability for our customers to control the validation of the container image eligibility for deployment, ensuring that only verified, trusted, and policy compliant container images would make into the runtime. It's our way of baking the security in the most critical moment, like the last mile before deployment, without slowing things down, for the engineering and delivery.
Awesome. And what really makes it gated? I mean, the word gated deployment is something that we hear about, but can you explain what is really make it gated?
Yes. Well, there is an actual gate there. We are
I'm glad about
a component. Yes. So there is an actual gate. It's not only like a term. We are installing a component that acts like a proxy over the Kubernetes cluster of our customers and performing a real-time enforcement, intercepting all the images, all the image deployment requests, and then it evaluates the container image security posture, like vulnerability status, misplaced, misused secrets, policy compliance, just before the orchestrator allows it to run. Thinking of like a bouncer for your production environment.
Awesome. A true defender blocking the gate of bad things. And what happens when there are violations? Do you block those violations?
Not necessarily. Actually, our security policies are supporting two types of possible actions. You can define an audit action, and by the way, this is the default action that's defined for the rule. In that case, we are not blocking the deployment. It's our intent to raise awareness that you have a running container which violates your organizational security policies. We are adding violation indicators over the respective recommendations, and we are raising an event in a dedicated monitoring stream that I'll showcase later. So audit is for awareness, and then there's also denied action. And if you define your security policy to use denied action, in that case, yes, the container image is being blocked from deployment. We are raising information for our customers using next steps and have the respective messages also inside the Kubernetes law.
Excellent. So basically, audit mode or deny mode for the most part. And
Yes.
once this is taking place, either auditing or deny, how do I gain knowledge about what happened? Is this information appear on the dashboard? Where can I find more about what took place?
No, don't worry. We have this capability tightly integrated into your existing DevOps processes. So the developers and DevOps folks would have the visibility for such critical information as well. We blocked your container from being deployed in the context of their day-to-day work. And we are providing visibility inside MVC portal as well. So for users that has the access to the MVC portal, we are providing a dedicated view that logs all the match events for the gated security rules with all the information they need to have on type of the event, resource that triggered it, which policy was violated, what is the exact violation, and for the users that are not working with the MVC on the day-to-day, we'll have all the relevant information inside the Kubernetes logs.
That's awesome. Looks really amazing. The one question that I have to ask, because since we are a multi-cloud platform, what clouds do we support for this capability, and what plans are required?
Okay, so for the public preview, we are Azure only. Definitely going to change. We are for the previous sake, we are on Azure supporting AKS version 1.31 and above, and supporting ACR as a container registry, which is also an important point. We are going to support AWS and GCP and their respective container registry services as part of the GA phase that would follow, as well as we are going to support older versions of AKS. So our plans are to backport this capability to AKS 1.27 and above, and that would happen also on GA timeline. Regarding the plans part, this capability is available only under containers plan. Gated deployment is bundled as part of the Defender sensor. Gating is a sensitive and intrusive action. It's not open by default, at least not for the public preview. So that might change in the future, since stopping container images from being deployed is really an intrusive action that we would like to provide our customer security administrators the freedom of deciding on which subscriptions and cluster they would like this functionality to apply. So it has a dedicated configuration for the Defender sensor distribution, controlling the activation and deactivation of gating on a specific Kubernetes cluster. And actually, some additional permissions that also required are write permissions to the container registry, the ACR in our case, since the vulnerability assessment rule, the one that we are shipping as part of the public preview, used for evaluation a vulnerability findings artifact. And this artifact is being generated each time our container image that resides in the ACR is being scanned. Then the artifact is being signed for authenticity and associated with the container image for further evaluation. And for that, we need the permissions to write the artifact to the ACR.
All right, excellent. Now, what really gets checked before, let's say, the gate is open, right? So before allowed to pass through, what are the checks that are done?
Okay, so for the public preview, we are introducing our first security rule type, which is vulnerability assessment. And vulnerability assessment rule evaluates image CV information, thresholds of severities. For example, if we would like to prevent critical images with critical vulnerabilities reaching to our production, or identifying specific CVEs, like in Log4j situation when you would like to detect, all images that about to deploy that running this new CVE, even if you are not planning to block it initially, but at least to be aware. And we are planning to add more rule types. But I think let me show you what drives this process, and it's better,
All right,
to
let's see it.
showcase. In MDC, under the environment settings, we have a new blade, security rules, that hosts a variety of policies that the Defender for Container has for enforcement. Currently, there are two policies available. Runtime, under which we have the binary drift policy, and it's not related to our case, and the gated deployment. And under the gated deployment, you can see that we have the vulnerability assessment rule type, which is in preview. And this is the type of rules that we are using for gated. Each tenant is going to have this default rule, so you're not starting scratch, and you have a default rule with an action assigned to audit. Audit is going to be the default for any rule if not being changed. The description, and of course, the scope, which in our case would apply to all Azure accounts. You can see that we are already stating that, well, we are not supporting AWS or GCP at this point. Another important point is that we are also indicating regarding the environments to which a Defender sensor upgrade is required. So you can see, which prerequisite is missing, for each of the subscriptions. It's not stopping the security administrator from defining the rules, but it's something that you need to be aware in terms of the expected result for the rules activation. And then upon choosing the required cloud scope, there is an ability to add an additional filter on a namespace level or on a cluster level. Say, I would like to filter everything that is production. And in terms of conditions, there is a variety of conditions I can assign. Here we can see that the default, the out-of-the-box rule is coming with a severe critical severity threshold that expects to match any container image that has at least one critical vulnerability. If I would change it to, let's say, medium, then I would match any container image having at least one medium severity CVE or higher. High critical, they would also going to be caught in this condition. I can add additional condition to fetch specific CVEs. In this case, whenever one of the conditions would apply, there would be a match, and I can this one, and of course I can add more than one. And of course, we should also allow exclusions, because there are cases when there are known CVEs. Let's say I would like to apply the medium severity threshold and above rule, but I would like to exclude a certain CVE because I know that my engineering is currently working on it, so I can add exclusions as well and exclude certain CVEs, and more exclusions are about to be added. And then when we did apply changes, we can also see to which subscriptions those changes are about to be applied, and voila.
This looks really good. I love the overall experience on the portal, the visual capability to select the conditions and everything. This looks really good. Now, when we think about the Defender for Cloud as a whole package, as our CNAPP strategy, how does fit into this whole strategy?
Well, I think it fits naturally. Because those capabilities are actually leverage the strength of our containers and Kubernetes security posture offering, and the fact that we are native into Azure, like in this cooperation with AKS. So adding gating capabilities is the next logical step for us. Like adding a prevention layer on top of the posture one.
Yeah. And do you foresee companies facing any challenging when they start implement this capability?
Yeah, well, one of the main challenges, I think, is to balance security, with efficiency. Because if you're going to work only, with the default rule, one default rule, applied to everyone, it might be, too loose or too harsh, and heavy for the development processes. So this is why you can add, as many rules on different scopes as you want. You can assign, different scopes, and then in turn, in cases when there are overlaps, we are also using priority capabilities. So in case of two rule instances of the same rule type, to overlapping a specific resource, the one with the higher priority is going to win. And for the sake of security admin, because you need to work actually, with the security rules definition area, and also with the admission monitoring preview area. We don't see anything here, but let's see. Let's go a little bit back in time. Yeah, and here we can, as a security administrator, I can work with this admission monitoring to see the events that were generated as a result of my policy, so I can understand, if the policy that I created, generating too much noise, or or not tight enough, and I have, all the match information in visual available for me.
And I just want you, before I wrap up, do you have any advice for organization looking to improve the overall container security?
Yes, use gating for all phases, for deployment, for build. Security posture by itself is not enough. To secure your cloud environment, you need proactive measures that would prevent vulnerable software from reaching your production.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense, and I'm assuming that you have more things on the pipeline for that, right?
Yes. We are planning tons of stuff. We are working on adding more types, more additional gating capabilities, enforcement points, so you can gate not only Kubernetes, and supporting open security policies formats, so we can export our policies or import policies that our customers defined elsewhere on known open formats like OPA. And of course, supporting more clouds and integrating even better with our customers' DevSecOps processes. So yeah, our hands are full.
Yeah, definitely, and I appreciate the prioritization of capabilities such as this one, which was highly requested by our customers. Beatriss, thank you so much for being on again, for taking the time to record this episode, and for this new release. I know that you work really hard with the team to have this out there. Make sure everyone that is listening to this episode, make sure to test, to validate. It's in public preview, so go ahead and test and do some POC to validate your hypotheses and see how it fits in your overall container security strategy. Beatriss, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you, Yuri.
All right, everyone.
Till the next time.
Yes, absolutely. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for our audience. We have some other episodes lined up that we are already planning to record. We are just accumulating some of the new capabilities that are coming. There are many things coming up, mainly towards RSA, which is end of April, beginning of May, is when we're gonna have a bunch of new things to announce to you. So stay tuned, subscribe to our playlist, and see you again next time.